Hello everyone, it's the Uncleanables. Welcome to episode 28. Today we're going to be talking about social media and if it is a vital lifeline within your business. If you can start a business with social media or without social media.
Before we get into that though, let's talk about what you got up to this week. What are you up to this week, Dan?
So it's only, let's go from Wednesday to Wednesday. So today I had a couple of little call outs. It's annoying sometimes with call outs, especially in my line of work, because the repairs that I can do are very beholden to what the situation allows me to do, shall we say. So this customer today rung me and said, I've got a problem with my garden gate. It's an iron gate and it's in a brick pillar. Pretty standard, as you would imagine. And he says, the bottom hinges come out, right? So I said, okay. I said, I can come
out the brickwork.
Come out the brickwork, right? Pretty straightforward. People swing on them, all the rest of it, just time. There's no give at all in it, in brickwork, so when you bang it, eventually it will rattle loose. So I said, look, I've got long fixings. I said, I'll come down and have a look. Well, I've gone down and had a look, and I think an apprentice, and that's no joke, an apprentice built his wall. So he's got columns, running wall, column, yeah?
Is it a tall gate or a short gate?
No, short gate.
Right.
Every single piece of brickwork was independent, nothing joined.
What?
Yeah. So when you look down, there's a hairline line all the way down. So he built a column, and then he ran a course of bricks in between. But there was nothing fixing, nothing holding it in together.
Mental.
And I had my drill on me, and I thought, I'll go in again, and I'll put a deeper fixing in. I had a real long, like 100mm fixing. I thought I'll put that in. I didn't put the drill on hammer, right? It was just as it was. So I thought I'll see how I get on. Drilled straight through on standard, right? And I thought, that's not right. So I took my drill bit out and then I started scraping at the mortar.
Oh, just
hardly any concrete,
away.
hardly any cement. So I called him out. I said, look, I'll be honest. I said, like...
Did you ask him how long the wall's been there?
I said to him, who built it? And he went, I know who built it was a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
I said, because I've had problem after problem. And I went, look, I said, problem after problem. I said, mate, I'm surprised the gate didn't pull it down. So I said, look, I'll be honest, there's nothing I can do. Like the fixing had even burst and the brick was coming loose.
Yeah.
So you was never going to get a fix. So anyway... So that's kind of like my trouble. I find I'm very beholden to the situation. Other than that, real basic. I had a lady call me. I had to build a IKEA bed. Mate, them IKEA beds are fucking incredible. You know, it was like a bunk bed with a desk underneath and a wardrobe. Yeah. Awesome. So I had to build.
Remember building IKEA furniture years ago? It was quite.
It was a job, wasn't it?
Yeah. How much easier is it now?
It blows my mind. You know, like when you say, like, you know, when you give someone instructions, yeah? You go, right, listen, you can turn right down that road and go left down there, yeah? You have to kind of explain it. They have produced a booklet that any language, any person can pick up and build a bed. Like, I've built that bed now. There's a bloke in China built this, bought the same one and built the same one, and we read off the same instructions. Yeah. It's actually mind-boggling.
We just got our wardrobes from IKEA, and I put them up, like, and it's 2 double wardrobes.
Yeah.
But you buy them independently, but you can fit them together.
Yeah.
So you could buy, and they do that in half sizes as well. So you can have like half of one, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5.
Keep going.
You can just keep adding them on, and then inside you can build
how you want it.
You can custom how it is, and like I said to Zoe, my wife, she's got the little drawers which aren't quite big enough. So I said, well, just go and buy another little drawer. Yeah. And you can just buy the drawer and then pull it in.
It's mind-blowing, isn't it?
Mental.
It is actually,
so
I think it's incredible.
So good. It's like Lego, but in real life.
Totally. Yeah. There's a reason it's a multi-billion-pound industry.
Yeah.
I knew a fact once about IKEA. I think it's something like 7% of all the timber that gets cut down in the world goes to IKEA.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe that.
As in construction timber, 7% of it.
I can believe that.
That's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, but there was that. There was a mouse call out as well. I had to go about mice. It wasn't mice calling me. They was in this woman's property, and so I went there and put the traps down in bits and pieces. And
yeah, my mother-in-law calls the neighbours mouses. In my head, I'm just thinking, I don't know why she does it. She calls them the mouses. In my head, I'm thinking, they fucking called you. No. But I've seen the picture, so I knew what you'd done. But
yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And then, and little bits and pieces, nothing too major really.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on the weather to break. We've had terrible weather.
It's not been great, is it?
Waiting for the weather to break, and then I done an advert Saturday. My missus sat down, we done an advert for pressure washing. She built it, she got this app on her phone, really clever. And so she done that, and then we sent it out. And
who'd you send it to?
Every customer I've had with MKM, I sat there and I worked, like you've got your database, so I kind of done that myself. So I saved every number that's like, you know what I mean, as under MKM. So now...
You got any work from it?
Absolutely nothing, mate.
Oh, you ain't got a massive list though.
I've only had something like 32 numbers.
Yeah.
Which I believe was...
Rookie numbers, boy. You got to pump them numbers. Once you pump them up, you'll be laughing.
How much work I've done.
Yeah.
Only 30 numbers, but then a lot of it's estate agents.
Yeah, or like you don't always get their number. You spoke to them on Facebook or something.
Exactly that. But listen, give
it another year, and it's not going to double that. You'll probably triple that.
Yeah, but every shot ain't going to be a kill, is it? You ain't
and then next time you do it, it's fucking 100 numbers.
Yeah.
And you get 3 or 4. So you only need 3 or 4 jobs.
Mate, I only need one.
Yeah, one's better than nothing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
But listen, it's not a fault. It was a free advert. It's not a foolproof plan.
Yeah, I always tell people about the text message I sent out back in November for soffit and fascia cleaning and gutter emptying.
Yeah.
Well, it was for gutter emptying, but have your soffits cleaned at the same time. And I bagged like 1,200-1,300 quid's worth of work off the back of that. That was naughty. But then I've got like nearly 300 customers, like numbers now, because I've had like a fair amount of one-off jobs and all of that.
Well done though.
Yeah, it's been all right.
What about your week?
My week's been eventful weather-wise. So back end of last week, it's Tuesday now before this comes out. So back end of last week, I had loads of window cleaning work. And I had like one day where I had like 24 jobs, and I just managed to get them done before the rain started. So yeah, I was sort of fighting the weather last week, but nothing eventful. And then yesterday I cleaned a school, and it was flipping epic. If you haven't looked at the pictures, look at the pictures. I think it came on the old curbside cleaning page.
Did you record any of it?
I've done a video, yeah, just a short, not like it's not going on YouTube.
It was actually surprisingly really mossy.
It was more green, more algae, but the top section, so at the front of the school, the bulk of the school, top section above the windows was mossy, but that was the only bit that was mossy.
So what's the difference between moss and algae?
So algae's just green, like pond scum is algae.
Oh, and moss is the actual furry plant.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I gotcha. So why would algae sit on brickwork like that? That was really weird.
I think it's probably never been cleaned, and it's just years of filth. But the pictures didn't really do it justice. It looked a hell of a lot better in person.
Oh mate, I thought I could appreciate it from the pictures.
Yeah, I started editing the video clips I'd done this morning, so I'm hoping they come up. Yeah. They came out a little bit nicer. But the trouble is when you've filmed 2 hours of content and I've shortened it down into 1.5 minutes, the computer can't render it. So I've had to speed it all up, export it so it creates a 1.5 minute clip, and then I'll go back in and edit that 1.5 minute clip.
Right, I see.
And remove all the dead parts. But I didn't have time to finish that this morning.
That came up really well.
Yeah, and then today back on the windows, I've got a couple more pressure washing jobs this week, which I'm looking forward to. I've got you done it with me last year actually. Do you remember we took the selfie in Rochford on the grey driveway? Yeah, doing that one again. And then Thursday I've got driveway patio and like the front porch roof tiles.
Nice.
Again, we've done a similar job in Rochford, like that. But yeah, just cruising by really. It's I am fortunate that I am like chock-a-block for the next 6 weeks, and I've got good days.
Yeah. As in financial?
Yeah, financially I've got good days. But I found out yesterday one of my upcoming clients he's got a bit of a problem, and he's got a boat, and he got arrested on his boat with some substance. Yeah. The root cause of his problem.
Right.
And then his restaurant that I'm meant to be working at got raided, apparently. So I'm meant to be cleaning it next Monday. So I'm hoping that still goes ahead.
Oh, how big was his boat?
I've just been told.
Mate, that's a proper playboy lifestyle, that, isn't it?
Yeah. He's married with 2 kids. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Don't know if that'll go ahead, so I might have a couple of days off. But if I do, I'm meant to be doing that, like that family's driveway and patio as well, the same week. So it's like 750 quid's worth of work in a week.
Yeah, potentially.
If they've got to pay lawyer fees or something, or bail, might not go ahead. So I love how bravely I'm talking about this. Like they're never going to watch it.
No, they'll be all right.
But
I read an interesting fact, right?
Yeah.
So someone will probably pull me up on this. But you know, like if coppers catch you with drugs, like Class A, like coke, yeah. If you've got, say, like, let's say you got 150 grams of it, right, which is quite a lot.
Yeah.
They have to wash it and get the true actual amount of
purity.
coke. Because if you've got 150 grams and only 10 of it's coke and the rest of it's flour, they can't nick you for the flour.
Yeah, really?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's surely be intent to supply, wouldn't it?
Totally.
Regardless of what
I thought.
the percentage of it is.
But then you could argue and say, like, well, hang on a minute, only 5 grams of it is actually coke, the rest of it's flour. And then they go, oh, I suppose you're right, really.
I bet they wouldn't do it unless you argued.
You'd have to argue the toss of it.
You'd have to say, look, it ain't coke, it's flour.
Yeah.
It's flour and I dropped a bag of coke in it.
But isn't it weird though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, even with, I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently even with like cannabis plants, they'll look at the plants, but then, I don't know if this is true or not, but then they weigh the bud. They weigh like the flower.
It depends on if they sniff or smoke, doesn't it? Because if they do, then
it's all going missing.
Yeah. Right, shall we get on to today's topic? So the question on everyone's lips today is, can you start a new business in 2024 without social media? Or is it a necessity to have social media? Now, I'm very social media heavy.
Yeah.
You pretty much started. You mean you had Facebook, didn't you? But it wasn't. That hasn't been the main source of your
inquiries or nothing.
No, I remember when you first started posting on Facebook. I told you to do a video, and you got a job off it. And you just didn't shut up about it for about 2 weeks.
I could not believe my luck. Yeah, that was incredible.
Dan was like fucking a Saudi Arabian prince that week.
Mate, I thought I was,
I'm king of the castle. Look at me, I got a chair.
Mate, I was DMing everyone. I was hitting up Nicki Minaj. You up, big girl? I was like, mate, do you want your gutters cleaned? It was.
Oh, you might have seen my video on Facebook.
You might be one of the 2,000 people that watched it. No, it was a gutter clean vid.
It was my job.
It was on your job. And then I put it up and I thought, oh, this is quite a satisfying video. And then literally, I mean, I've never had luck like it. And then as soon as it went up, someone messaged me that night and I was like, what? This is crazy.
I would disagree that it's luck.
No, it's not
and
luck.
And I think it's a numbers game. So
yeah, it is, totally.
Like, you could have put that video up and got nothing, and then you would have argued social media is shit.
Yeah.
But if you'd put 100 videos up, and you'd had 10 jobs, say, 1 in 10, but those 10 jobs are worth 120 quid each.
Totally, yeah. Numbers game, innit?
Yeah.
Numbers game. But it was blinding.
You'll be ready to use that video again soon.
Why?
Well, it's not been up for like a year. You can just use it again.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Content's like, you don't create content and then use it once and then...
Yeah, some videos are too good, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I think I had a really interesting chat with a fella. He's actually in Dubai, and he does like all this mentoring stuff. And he said that he came in the room and he was talking about advertising on social media and why wouldn't you advertise on social media? And he says, look at that billboard outside, right? And it was a very busy intersection.
Yeah.
He said, how much do you reckon that billboard is? And we all said, like, I don't know, £1,000 a week, £800 a week, all the rest of it, right? I think billboards are roughly about £800 a month.
Depends on where they are.
Depends on where they are. There's one at Gallows Corner, not Gallows Corner, Fortuna Wall roundabout. I rang up once, and I think they said it was something like £800 a month, and then you have to, you rent the billboard space, and then they supply the advert in terms of the print, and they paste it on and all that, So it's about £800 a month and then £600 for the board and whatnot. But then how many people drive down that road? Quite a few, But then how many people are on Facebook? Like,
if you put that 800 quid towards Facebook over the course of 6 weeks...
It's colossal.
Or over the course of the month, for 4 weeks, so 200 quid a month spend, a week spend. I think you'd reach... But it depends. In this situation, though, it's very dependent on your type of business. So if we try and keep it towards what we do, because if you're selling something that can be sent in the post, then Facebook is always going to be better than a local billboard ad. Yeah. But for someone like us, a local billboard ad actually probably be quite helpful. I just think the prices of the billboard ads are a little bit disproportionate in this day and age.
I think they're ridiculous money.
Because you noticed recently as well, I've been down to Southend near not the Royals, one at the other end, Southend Victoria. Yeah. They've got a new electric one on the wall now.
Yeah. Big bright thing in your face.
So that costs them, well, it's going to be a LED in it.
Yeah.
So it's not going to cost a hell of a lot to run. But if you stop paying your bill, they're switching it off.
Instantly.
It's not like they've got to go down and rip it down. It's all plastered on. So they can change it as quickly as they can put it up there for you.
Yeah.
You're probably going to pay more for that because it's lit up as well and it's new and it's shiny. I don't think it's as obvious as the one on the roundabout. But
are you one of these people that gets blown away by some advertising? Like, I'll give you an example, right? Do you ever watch the World Cup and see like the McDonald's advertise and be like, I could really go a burger?
No.
See, that blows my mind as well. And like when they say like and Red Bull's car, I know Red Bull exists. You don't have to drive a Formula 1 car for me to know you exist.
No, but I think they've been doing that since before you knew Red Bull existed. But
I think in terms of social media, it's free to make. Yeah, you can put a couple of pictures up and just keep the name going, even if you just share a few bits here and there. But I think it's more attacking the subliminal mind.
Yeah.
I think, or subconscious mind, should I say, because it's always in the back of someone's head. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's a couple of fun facts here. So I'm pretty sure my numbers might be slightly off here. But before someone buys from you, if you're selling them via marketing, they want to see you 7 times.
Right.
So it's the rule of 7. So they want to get your leaflet through the door, then they might go on your website.
Yeah.
Then you've got retargeting from your website, so then you come up on Facebook. Then,
is that how that works?
Yeah, or they might have gone, so you have a retargeting pixel on on a web page. So once they've clicked on that web page, it will track them around the internet. It's all cookies and all that shit. Yeah. They track them around the internet, and then when you have adverts come up and they're tailored, sort of like, and you go,
I was talking about that.
How did they know I've been on that website?
Yeah.
That's remarketing. So you see it again. Or they might have filled in a form. You can do a form on Facebook, can't you? You can do like a quiz or something in a form. So you've got their contact details, and you email them, and then they read your email and they go back on your website and they see you on Facebook again. So 7 times before they buy with you. That's something that someone's worked out somewhere along the line.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Radio, I think, is something like 15 times as well if you advertise on radio, so it's not as great return.
Well, then they've got to hear you 15
So, when you're listening to radio with adverts, and not BBC, and they do like 2 songs in the adverts, that's because the average listening duration of someone listening to radio is like 18 minutes.
Right.
So, if they do 2 songs in an advert, they can get 3 adverts in front of you in that 18 minutes.
Right, yeah.
On average. And... and the where they've got to hear the advert from you on the radio for you to pay attention is more, because you're not always actively paying attention to the radio like you would do to the TV or Facebook or Instagram, whatever. So the intent to buy is smaller.
Yeah, it's. I think it's an interesting one. It definitely is, because not all of them are going to win, and I think a lot of people know also that a lot of them are not going to win. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I think people put too much trust in Facebook. So they go, advertise on Facebook, I'll boost that post and I'll get loads of work.
Yeah, don't work.
But that's not how it works. It's not like Google pay-per-click where you pay for an inquiry.
I've spent like 300 quid on Facebook adverts. I do £100 an advert.
Because what you're doing on an advert on Facebook, and no fault of your own, but you've just not got the marketing experience. If you're going to boost something on Facebook, you want something that's going to collect their data. So you'd boost something like, fill in this form and get 10% off any of our services.
Yeah.
So that you're capturing their data. Obviously, you'd make it less obvious than that, but you'd want something along those lines. Whereas if you'd put that money into Google pay-per-click, because if someone searches garden clearance Rayleigh and you come up, they're directly looking for a service you offer. So when they then click on your link, they're more likely to inquire, because it's intent-based marketing. Yeah, so they've got intention to to buy your product, whereas Facebook, you're shoving it in front of them.
Yeah.
So you're just putting it in front of their eyes, hoping that they've got a garden that needs clearing or whatever it might be that you're advertising.
No, it makes total sense.
So your 300 quid on Facebook that returned nothing could have returned you
Yeah, I only
15 inquiries.
Agreed. And out of them, you'd like to close 2 or 3.
Even then that's just stage 1. Getting the inquiries is stage 1. You've then got to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
And I think marketing, although it's very important, is only a small portion of the whole business growth structure.
Agreed. Yeah.
So social media for me is an absolute must, but not for build. It's not like a tool to build a business for me.
How many times have you, sorry to interrupt, how many times have you found a website and it is dynamite or a leaflet and you think, God, this is incredible, and then you ring it and an absolute idiot answers the phone and you think, mate, I'm not buying off you. You've sold me, but you've sold me away from you, mate. I'm not fucking going to give you my money. Point about what you said about the...
I've got a good story about that, actually. So I'm looking for a van-mounted pressure washer, as we know.
Yeah.
There are several van-mounted pressure washer companies, popular ones.
Right.
Pardon me. And
name and shame, lad.
No, I'm not going to, because I'll still use them. And the only reason I'm not digging them out is because we've got the expo coming up. So life is going to be very busy for them.
Yeah.
But I had this conversation with Jake about how I've emailed them twice and I pointed out that there's a contact form broken on their website.
Right.
So I said,
that's a good start.
I said, I appreciate you're busy, but your contact form doesn't work. Here's my inquiry as well. So you can fix it and get back to me. Haven't heard from them.
And how long ago was that?
3 or 4 weeks.
What? Nearly a month?
Yeah. Right. And I know their email works because I'd ordered something from them and they didn't send it out. They can tell me it got lost. It didn't get sent out because once I got up, I chased them up 3 times before they went, okay, we'll send it out again. And then all of a sudden I got a, your parcel's on its way text message.
Oh, I see.
Which I didn't get originally, so they definitely didn't send it out. But it's fine. Mistakes happen.
Mate, have you pissed them off?
I don't think so. Mistakes happen, right? And the expo's coming up, so they're extra busy. But I said to Jake, if they're that busy that they can't, or stuff's going wrong, they need to employ a girl
just to respond to
emails. He went, yeah, they've got one of them.
No way.
I was like, mate, what the fuck is going on down there?
Yeah, that's a meltdown.
That's a shit show. And they're a really good company. I absolutely love the company. I think their branding is on point, and I love what they do.
Yeah.
And my experience with them, that side of things, has just absolutely let me down, and it's just heartbreaking. And you think it looks quality online, and they're building van-mounted systems all the time on Instagram, and everyone's having a great time, and then you email them and you just don't get a reply. And I'm just like, oh man, I want to give you so much money.
Yeah, but it's like...
But now I don't want to give you so much money.
Mate, totally. It's interesting, isn't it?
And they don't, I think they do a lot of not social media, but SEO marketing, but they don't do any social media marketing. They just do posts. And I've seen those posts however many times over.
Yeah.
And I've gone, right, that's the company I want to use
you're
for my van
sold
mount.
Completely, yeah.
But now I'm second guessing myself. So now I'm inquiring with other companies to see if they can fulfill what I want done.
Especially when you're talking this is why it's very vital to always treat everyone like they're going to spend the most amount of money.
Yeah.
Because how do they know? I mean, a van-mounted system is what, 5 to 8 grand, nearly 10 grand.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do it a little bit cheaper than that. I'm not going anything fancy,
but say 5 grand.
5 grand.
So potentially you was going to spend 5 grand, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll be 5 with extras on top.
Right, but then they don't know you didn't have a fleet of 20 vans at all.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you might not. They might have read that email and gone, look at this arsehole trying to tell us about our business. Fuck him off. It's like, mate, he's got 5 grand ready to spend. Yeah. Don't throw that inquiry away.
No, some people think they're so busy. Maybe they just don't need the work.
It's interesting. There's a saying for that. I learnt it the other day, and it's one hot day don't make a summer.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you might be dynamite at one thing, but you've got to be dynamite at a lot of things. You've got to keep the ball rolling.
This is a conversation, I can't remember if we had it on the podcast or I had it with Jay privately, the painter and decorator we had on.
Yeah.
And how he's really busy through word of mouth.
Yeah.
I said, once you've painted everyone's rooms and you get 7 or 8 clients that don't recommend you to someone else, or they do recommend you but you're out of their mate's price range.
Yeah.
Where's your inquiries coming from?
See, yeah.
It's like you're hot right now, and you've got too much work that you can take on, but it doesn't mean you should take your foot off the gas with the marketing. Because a day will come where you sit there and you go, shit, I've got no work.
But then being the devil's advocate, I know what you're saying, right? And this has crossed my mind. And you shared a clip, and it's like, if you don't innovate, you evaporate, and all this jazz. And it's like, always you've got to be moving with the times and changing, yeah? And then I know you're going to laugh your head off. I sit there and I think about Red Bull, right? A can of Red Bull is unchanged for like 70 or 80 years, or whenever it was made. I think it was in the 50s, when it was 60s.
Yeah.
And you think it's hardly changed. I know they do a diet version, but it's like, what if everyone woke up tomorrow and there was a huge like fitness pro, right? No sugar, no.
There's loads of Red Bulls.
No, right, but it's a sugary drink in a can, yeah.
Yeah, they do zero sugar ones.
Yeah, I know they do zero sugary ones, but it's like even cigarettes, right? It's like
what if legislation changes?
Well, it's not that. It's like if everyone woke up tomorrow and that man didn't have any houses to paint, it's like, yeah, okay, but what if everyone woke up and said, right, smoking's terrible for you, everyone's going to stop smoking? All them cigarette companies are going to go out. But it's almost like...
I wouldn't be surprised if those cigarette companies own the vape companies.
They do. But what I'm getting at is like there's a lot of industries built on a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like, as in like just like repeat customers just off of a whim.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it doesn't make you bulletproof.
Oh, no, totally.
There'll be one or two painters who like... So like Jay could get in with a housing association and have 8,000 houses to paint over the next 25 years. Like that could be a contract. Never has to market again. Has work for life. But there's going to be people like that who have like a holiday home in Thailand, and they go to Thailand 6 months of the year, and then they only need 6 months work.
Yeah.
Like they're anomalies for me and you. So like you've said about in the past, building a bigger business, taking on staff.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, you need to always have more inquiries than you can handle. That is your one and true goal, to have more inquiries. You want to be not turning work away. You want to be quoting it and saying it's a 3 month wait.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And then you can go, right, I can take on another person and speed up the work, right? And then you've got a little buffer and the work's booked in. And like, because people, I get it now, I'm 6 weeks waiting list and people don't want to wait. And they'll go, oh no, I'll get someone else to do it, thanks. I think, well, if I had someone with me, I could potentially squeeze in another job here or there. But my goal at the moment is slightly different to that. But I want more inquiries than I can handle.
Yeah, because that's how it...
And that's how you grow a business.
See, it's interesting because I was thinking about this, because it's like, is it more inquiries than what you can handle, or are we just playing on a different field than what we should be playing on? Because it's like, since I've started... All right, a little bit's changed, but in terms of inquiries, not really a lot's changed. Whereas in terms of getting like a group of 3 or 4 lads and we're going out smashing it every day in a couple of vans, am I playing in the wrong field? Do I need to be playing in like the council's field? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do I need to be swimming around with them big boys and
No,
getting
I
the
think
big
you're
jobs?
just thinking about it too much.
Do you think?
Do you think the world's changed since you started a business 18 months ago?
No, I'm not saying the world's changed. I'm saying like, if I want to get a maintenance contract for like the Tower of London, really, I'm not gonna bump into the owner in Wickford, am I? He goes to different meetings. He does different.
I see what you're saying.
Ponds.
Yeah, so I think as a rule of thumb for anyone who wants to grow a business in our sector, first and foremost, you want a little bit of money from a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So you want to have your call outs.
Yeah.
So you want 4 or 5 call outs a day.
Yeah.
Coming in, that's your bread and butter.
Oh, mate, 4 or 5 a day, I'll be retired.
And so that's like my window cleaning, yeah? So I've got a little bit of money for that. And then
4 or 5 a week, mate.
And then I can start marketing for medium-sized jobs, pressure washing, roof cleaning, all that stuff. And then bringing them in.
And then the big things come along.
And then once you then take someone on, and because you've got a solid flow of income of inquiries, you can afford to take someone on because the work's always there.
Let me just
and then your time can be spent looking for bigger contracts. So that's when you want to start going, right, macros, can I be your maintenance guy? Or, you know, like these big warehouses.
What you just said there, once you have a solid income, or a steady income, so what's solid and what's steady? As in, like, in your idea.
So like, this is, you as a business owner, self-employed, you've got to have a little bit more trust in your income.
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as steady or...
That's what, when I heard it, I thought, so what's steady?
But the work you've done to build up, so you're getting your reviews, you're on Check a Trade.
Yeah.
yeah, you might want to start spending money on Facebook a little bit a month.
Yeah.
To start building up some inquiries there. You might want to start spending some money on Google PPC. Well, once you've got your website, spend a little money there. So you've got inquiries coming from Google, you've got inquiries coming from Facebook and Instagram, inquiries coming from Checkatrade. And then once you're getting enough work where you've got 3 or 4, weeks worth of work, then that's when you can start thinking about taking someone on.
Yeah, of course.
Because you don't want a week and a half's worth of work. And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know about you, but Checkatrade for me, I've had like 2 inquiries in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot.
I've had 37 in the last month.
And
but in the last 2 weeks, I've had 2. So it really does. And if that's your only source of inquiry,
yeah, it's dried up immensely. Yeah.
So you want to spread your baskets around, spread your eggs around in different baskets. Put your balls in
like that.
Put your balls in different women.
I was say spread your cheeks.
Spread the cheeks. No, that's this way. That's
spread
this
the
way.
business cheeks.
That's this one. What? You gay, man? No. So you want to spread your inquiry glitter around, so that you're getting inquiries from lots of different places. So if one dries up, you're still getting them, and then that's what gives you the security. It's not. There's no such thing as security, but you create your own security. And then when you take someone on, that's when the anxiety hits you. Do you think you're anxious now? Let me tell you something. That's when the anxiety hits you, because you're like responsible for another human's life, right? And God forbid they've got a fucking mortgage and children, and they're relying on you to feed their kids.
Oh, mate, don't say that.
So that's why it's important to make sure you've got inquiries coming from lots of different places.
No, it makes sense. It does make sense.
But you want to be spending that money on marketing before you take someone on. Because once you take someone on and your mindset switches to, I've got to make sure they're paid at the end of the week or the end of the month, you're going to be less inclined to be spending money on stuff you don't know will work or not. Because there's still like, for me, I tried the Google PPC and it was working, it was all right.
Is that pay-per-click?
Yeah, but I was getting people click and then not inquire. So I think maybe my website wasn't geared up for conversion as good as it should be. So that was costing me like £15 a click.
What, one geezer?
One click, yeah.
£15?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you might have 150 clicks a day.
No, they actually set a budget. So you'll say you want to spend £300 a month.
Right. Oh, it puts you at the top, and then once you run out of budget, it just
take
fucks
you off. Yeah.
What, and then what? It takes you off and you're gone off Google?
So no, off of PPC. So it's sponsored bit at the top of Google.
That's it. I didn't know that existed.
But you bid for clicks. So the more people that want, like say pressure washing Whaley. So if someone types into Google pressure washing Whaley, you get your PPC clicks. Then you'll get your map pack, which will be Google My Business. Then you get your organic SEO rankings. So the more people that want to be found for Google, like pressure washing Whaley, the higher the cost of the click. Because you're bidding against other people.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why it goes up in value. So then Google goes, right, well, you want it. There's 100 people that want it. So now the cost is £15 a click. And then people will start going, well, I'm only spending 30 quid a month or whatever, or 30 quid a week. So they get 2 clicks a week.
Mate.
But if that click converts, obviously...
Google must be generating colossal amounts of money.
Yeah, they don't need your money, mate. Yeah. They definitely don't need it.
But you think, you've just said that on one industry and there might be 10 people competing, but now say butchers in Rayleigh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now do dressmakers in Rayleigh. Like when does it stop? Like cab firms. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Mate, that's insane.
Absolutely.
They definitely don't need your money, do they?
No. They're, that's why people think like... I think... Probably anyone who's watching this podcast particularly, don't matter how much money you spend on marketing, you're not spending lots of money.
Yeah,
it might be a lot of money for us, but
in
the grand scheme of things, like I was watching a podcast the other day, and a guy was spending 100k a month on each of Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and something else. He's spending 400 grand a month on marketing.
And what does he do?
I didn't get that far into the podcast, but it was the guy who was telling the podcast was a marketing agency. So he was talking about a client that came to him.
He's like, there's levels to this shit,
and then
mate.
The guy who was talking, he said he was talking to a guy on the phone, and he went, so we want to spend about 100 a week, on each LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, who even thought about marketing on LinkedIn first and foremost?
LinkedIn makes me feel sick, mate.
I've started marketing on LinkedIn.
It makes me feel sick when I read some people say.
I hope it works out, but I'm not holding my breath. It's not.
Oh, it's the most cringiest environment I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's gone, I want to do 100 a month on each of these. And he's gone, what, like £100 a month? He's gone, no, 100 grand a month.
Imagine having that sort of mate,
yeah, but like, so Google pay-per-click, if done properly.
Mate, that's 4.8 million a year.
Yeah, but Google pay-per-click, if done properly, obviously if you're doing it yourself, you've got to work all this out yourself. If you go for an agency, they'll provide you with a ROAS, which is a return on ad spend. So if you put in £1,000 a month, they will track the inquiries you get. You'll update those inquiries as to whether you've booked them in, or whatever it might be. Obviously, it's a lot easier to work out if you're selling a product because they can track the person through to check out. But you'd have to update it yourself in our industry, and then you'd get a return on ad spend. So if you spent £1,000 on Google ads, and it returns you £4,000 worth of work.
Yeah.
Well, you're just printing money effectively.
Do you think so? In your experience, as from curbside, what sort of return on your investment do you get on £1,000 of advertising?
So when I was advertising with an agency, because you pay an agency fee, I was breaking even.
Right.
So what I put in, I was making double, but I was having to pay half of that. So I was spending £150 a month on ad spend, so 10 leads a month. But I was having to pay the person managing it £150 a month. So those 10 leads were turning into like one booking, which was like 300 quid.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But then you got the customer, I guess, didn't you?
Yeah, but bear in mind I was only spending 150, so I was doubling my money.
Yeah.
But I was paying for the privilege of someone doing that for me. If I took the time to do it myself, which is it's not rocket science, but it's obviously time consuming.
What other types of adverts have you done? Have you said like £1,000 on Facebook? Have you done so?
I've never done anything that big with this business.
No, I mean collectively.
Oh, collectively. So Facebook, I've probably done £1,000 on Facebook collectively.
What response did you get?
I got work out of it, but I can't say I tracked it to the point where I know it worked well. I done Google Guaranteed for a little while.
Right.
That was really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So explain what it is.
So Google Guaranteed is slightly different from pay-per-click. So Google Guaranteed is, instead of you pay per click, with Google Guaranteed you pay per phone call. So, and you only get charged if they're on the phone for longer than 30 seconds. So if they call you and they're like wanking and breathing heavy down the phone, you can hang up.
What did you say? Dan, not now, I'm busy.
Stop trying to spend my money. And you don't get charged if you're not, unless you enjoy it for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And obviously,
you normally nut before then and then hang up, so you're good.
If they're calling you, the intent's much higher. So,
the intensity.
So, for example, if I'm looking for fan-mounted pressure washer, I might go click on all of the sponsored ads and inquire with all of them, and then work out who's best, who actually replies to my email, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
When you do a phone call, obviously the intent's much higher. So I was closing a lot of the people that phoned me.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was carpet work, which at the time I didn't really want a massive amount of.
So was you pushing some of it away?
No, I was booking it, but then I got to a point, it was about this time last year probably, and I got to a point where I was 4 to 6 weeks waiting list.
Yeah, and that's time enough.
When they're calling, generally they want something a little bit sooner.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I stopped doing it because it became quite saturated and the quality of the leads went down.
Really?
Yeah, so they were like, oh, okay, I'll call you back. And then, they're just calling.
Yeah, just calling.
Or I'd be like third in line and they'd be like, I've just called 2 other companies. They've said they can do it for this much. Can you beat it?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't do bidding wars, mate. I'm not an auctioneer.
Yeah.
So that fizzled out. But you've got to try these things, like something that worked here, if you're not, from Essex, from somewhere else.
Yeah, what works here might not work anywhere else.
And like Google Guarantee might not have kicked off in Northamptonshire, for example.
So getting back to the original topic then about social media, what do you reckon is a good social media platform? Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn?
Nowadays, I think Instagram.
Do you?
I genuinely do. I think the people that are looking for our industry, more so, and I think a lot of people our age don't know how to put fucking screw in the wall.
Oh, mate, massive.
So, and the people that are older that aren't on Instagram generally have more of an idea.
Yeah.
Like my dad could hang some photo frames or a shelf.
Yeah.
But he's not on Instagram. But my brother, who's on Instagram,
can't hang shelves.
Can barely brush his teeth in the morning. I hope he watches this. I really do. He's just bought a house in Colchester.
Well, he's clearly brushing his teeth right, isn't he?
I hope you call up if he covers Colchester.
He's clearly brushing his teeth right.
Couple of phone calls. But
see, I would say I've never liked the way Instagram has been set up in terms of the commenting. I think Facebook flows a lot easier. Maybe it's just my old brain.
I think it's the people that use it.
Yeah, I've always liked the way that
Pause.
Too late. I've always liked the way that Facebook reads and you can write on it and it flows. It's like if someone puts up a nice picture, it's like, yeah, you can look at the picture and then you can look at all the comments rather than I just find Instagram a little bit different to that, and the captions all fucking diddy, and do you know what I mean? It's just a bit of a weird setup for me, Instagram. I've never really gelled with it.
You can make the writing bigger.
No, it's not so much. I mean the whole flow of it.
On your phone.
No, the whole flow of it I've never really got. I never really liked that much with it. I'll be honest.
I think it's exactly the same.
Do you think?
Well, they're owned by the same company.
Yeah, Meta, innit? But I've never really got on with Instagram, to be honest with you.
No, but I've fucking bugged you for 18 months to go on Instagram.
Yeah, no, I've got it, yeah.
But I don't...
And now look at me since I've got it. I'm as busy as an Amish fucking electrician.
I don't really use either of them personally too much. But I use Instagram because it automatically posts to Facebook.
Yeah.
So then I don't have to post in both places.
I think your reach, to be honest with you, on Instagram is incredible. Look at these people that put these short videos up. I mean, you've only got to look at the comments in the side and it's 1 million clicks, 1 million
My views on Facebook are much bigger than Instagram.
No, well, regardless.
For the same video.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is the reach of people that it can hit. I mean, you've only got to have one... Some geezer in Canada might sing a good song, yeah?
Yeah.
And he can put it up on Instagram now. By the time we get home, it'll be on our feed.
Yeah. But for us, that's not... trying to keep it relevant to us. That's not...
I'm talking about the reach it can get to.
Yeah, no, but you put an advert out for something.
Yeah.
You reaching someone in Canada or America is no good to you whatsoever.
No, entirely.
And views doesn't do anything for you.
No,
you want to reach genuine homeowners in Essex. That is your reach. And from my point of view, for you, because I'm talking about you, I'm not talking about me, you putting an ad out for, say shelf hanging, for example.
Yeah.
The people that need help hanging a shelf are going to be a younger generation that are going to be on Instagram over Facebook. If I had to choose.
Yeah.
I'd always say do both.
Do you know, I'll tell you now, right, coming from a handyman, this is no exaggeration. There's a business out there now go on the internet and get the domain name Mr. Shelf and get your van sign written Mr. Shelf, and all you do is just shelf. I'll tell you now.
I bet that's gone.
But I'll tell you now, you'll be flat out.
You reckon?
Fuck me, mate. Unbelievable.
The amount of shelves you put up.
Man, and do you know another thing? Curtain poles.
Yeah.
I must do 3 a week. And I'll tell you now, it's I reckon if I just done curtain poles, I'd have a good living.
You know what, as well? It's not a lack of tools, because I bought a power drill from Argos for 20 quid.
Them power drills are a lot better than the unpowered drills, isn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, them unpowered ones are shit.
Yeah. Hand ones would do the job though, mate.
You bought it from Argos?
20 quid.
Really?
Electric drill, yeah.
Yeah. And what, it worked to a treat?
Yeah, it worked fine.
And did you put your curtain poles up?
No, but you could have put a curtain pole. It's not
what
a tool issue.
Doing it?
I didn't have curtains to put up.
So why are you telling me about it? Oh, it's
because I'm saying it's not a lack of knowledge or a lack of.
No,
it's not like a lawnmower where someone ain't got a shed and they don't want to store a lawnmower, so they pay a gardener to come do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And a lawnmower is 500-600 quid, for a petrol lawnmower.
I'll be honest with you. No, I mean there is a bit of an element of you got to know what you're doing. I'll be entirely honest. But it's very basic.
A little bit,
It's very basic. Like, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there is an element of like,
and the tools you need is 20 quid.
And use a spirit level and things like that. Yeah, you need...
I mean, if you weren't bothered or if you had wonky eyes, you know, it wouldn't need to be that level, would it?
You don't need a level. You can measure off the ceiling. If
Mate,
the ceiling's straight.
I'd put it up level and my missus would still tell me it's wonky, so I might as well just skip the spirit level completely. I'll just start bang a hole there, hope that, you know, just eye it up. Yeah, it looks about right. Or just get one of those ones where you can clamp it after you've put the brackets on the wall.
Yeah.
So then it don't really matter.
I done a job.
Just the curtains don't stay closed because the rings slide.
Do you want to hear a shocker? I done a job. I had to cut a board in a ceiling. Mate, honestly, like the things you do, right? And I had no tape measure. And I went out somewhere and I had my tape in my pocket and I measured something and I left it on the table at home. And I've gone to this job and I had no tape measure. And I needed a tape measure for the job and I thought, it's getting done. I thought, I'm not leaving it, it's getting done. So I had a spirit level, right, a metre long spirit level, and I offed the spirit level up, right, and I marked the spirit level and then came down and marked the board and cut it and offered it up and it fit.
Yeah.
But I thought, I'm not letting it beat me. Like, this board is getting up there. If I've got to nibble the edges, like, it's going up. But mate, the things you get up to.
Mate, I've always been pretty good at like eyeing stuff up. But when I was building the shelving in the van, I didn't account for the curve of the wall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was proper fucked.
Did you know that's a thing? Did you know that's actually a scientific thing? You know they say we've got 6 senses.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 5 senses that you got of 6th sense. You know there's a lot more than, there's like 18 senses.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a lot more. You know, like when you can...
You've got gaydar, haven't you?
Yeah. It's going to make a joke then, but I don't want to. You know, like you feel the presence of someone behind you.
Yeah.
That's a sense. Yeah, and you can, like, loads of little things. No joke.
Your one must go off all the time. The amount of blokes you have behind you. Yay!
But one of the senses is, right, so this fella taught me this. You know, if you're framing something, like any dry liners watching this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're framing something, you put studs in a wall, yeah? Or if you're putting 2 or 3 boards on top of each other, right? If you're hammering, yeah, you'll put the nail up and you hammer it, you'll put the next board up, right? More often than what you think, you'll hit the same nail by going in again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So like if you screwed this like a patras up, yeah, timber patras up, right? And then we offered plasterboard up and tried to screw the plasterboard. We'd hit the screw again. But that's just our brains. Like,
yeah.
Mate, it's actually mind blowing. If you've hit it and you think, mate, what's the chances of that? Like, you do it more often than not.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got on that, talking about...
I just love that I made the joke about you getting entered from behind.
Getting my ears ripped off, mate.
Right, what do you guys think? Leave us... we've had some brilliant engagement. You've not seen it, have you? Because I replied to them this morning. We've had like 3 or 4 comments on the latest video.
What?
People really engaging with us, yeah.
What, is in podcast or the one where you fucked up the chat?
What?
The little short you done?
No, the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good, yeah.
You have to go have a look.
We're getting a good audience now.
Yeah, but people are actually engaging with our content, which that makes me so hard. I mean, I love it.
No, it's good, mate. It's good to know that...
Every time we do a podcast,
yeah,
if a little extra person or someone, and then we get another comment,
it's nice that we're getting comments.
When
we started out there with like not even a bit of grass or a name.
Mate, you know when we first started and Dan was like, mate, we're gonna have 1 million views by the end of the year, and I was like, fucking hold your horses, mate. I've been through this roller coaster once already.
Didn't we do the maths on it? We got 100,000.
What did you get 100,000 of?
Collectively, didn't we?
What?
I swear we've done the maths on this.
100,000?
Yeah, collectively across every video and short and everything.
I think 1,000.
Surely, yeah?
Yeah. 100,000 is huge, man.
We are huge, mate. We're fucking massive.
Yeah, but I think it was 1,000 and one of the shorts got like 995 views.
Basically, innit? It's like...
But now we're absolutely flying.
We are doing well.
Every episode we get like a little bit better.
Yeah, of course we do.
And
it's a learning process,
split between audio and visual.
And listen,
watchers.
We'd probably do this if no one watched us.
We did do this when no one watched us.
Exactly.
And that's why we're better than you. Right? No, but...
oh, mate, what about the old... who did I see in the garden centre? What was his name?
Stephen Mulhern.
Stephen Mulhern.
He's going, Did you feel him behind her?
No, mate. So, is he gay?
Yeah. I think so.
Right, so yeah, so I like, because when I'm not even...
He was there with his boyfriend. Holding a bloke's hand.
No, but we had a funny. Oh, don't worry about it. I was going to say the funny joke about it. Jake said he shouted out "Stay cleaning" as our security just carried him across the car park. But I don't know why I brought that up.
You don't want to try again.
Mate, I don't know why that was in my head and I had to say it. That was the mate.
Autism.
That was the rizzle with the tizzle, mate. That was the rizzle with the tizzle.
The tism's kicking in. Anyway, this podcast, I'm gonna not that you'll know this before you listen to it because you've already listened to the whole thing, but I'm gonna launch it at 8 a.m. on Saturday, which is an hour earlier than usual, so that you can all listen to it on the way to the cleaning expo. Because it comes out the morning of the expo.
Yes, and we'll be there listening to
it.
it.
And if you've listened to this podcast on the way to the expo, let us know somehow in person. You can let us know in person because we're going to be there.
We're going to be there, and if you want to jump on the camera because we're going to do the short questions, feel free. You've got to come over and say to us.
Yeah, but I'll put out that short video so everyone knows about that.
Massive. We're going to be there.
I got my point across with that video, didn't I?
40 times you did,
yeah.
No, we'll be there. We'll be t-shirted, branded up. Come over, say hello.
You won't be able to miss us.
And let us know if you watched it and what your thoughts are.
I'm going to be standing behind Dan so he knows I'm there.
With a presence, mate.
Breathing in his ears. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching and we will catch you next time. Stay cleaning.